going to kick about 50 today, mate.
Good morning everybody and welcome to another game day vlog. Today is Friday, but yesterday I did go down to the Basin to kind of do a little bit of stuff with the juniors, do a little bit of stuff with the seniors, have a run around, meet everybody. So we're going to go back and watch those clips right now as a little bit of an intro. And even for those of you that do, my name is Tom Bolshire. I've grown over social media and my... Go Basin! I can hopefully I can get a kick. Gee whiz, it looks great out here.
This is the best I've seen.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to show that on YouTube, but that's wild. And now, I think he's. And look at it on his arm.
On his boot.
And you reckon you're gonna train? Yeah, I'll train. Now that is what I call country footy, ladies and gents. And then you're gonna go make the palmies after.
Palmer hands.
All right, this is the setup that we've got here.
It's chaos.
How many of these have you made today?
About 200.
They're all homemade.
Homemade.
Chicken stitties. Right, mate. How? As I said, it is Friday morning, got up early this morning, did a gym sesh with my housemates, and now I'm on my way to the airport where I will be off to Sydney for the day. I've got a day in Sydney with Whoop, who are releasing their new Whoop bands, I believe today. Flat out life at the moment, got back from Bali at 3 AM on Wednesday night, which is Thursday morning, you know, pretty much straight up and at 'em. Then obviously footy training Thursday night, and now, like I said, you know, off to Sydney today. So I guess you guys will come along for the journey with me. Let's get to it. Virgin Australia only. Run away. Let's do it. All right, we just landed here in Sydney, and we're doing a little bit of work on some incredible transformations, and then we've got some breakfast here as well. So breakfast, pretty simple day, 3 poached eggs, bit of avo, bit of toast, bit of carbs, nothing too crazy. It's actually 11:20, so it's a bit later than breakfast. And then we've got a decaf coffee as well. Let's get it.
That's what the link looks like.
If you guys want to buy a podcast, this guy is the man. A podcast course, he's the man to go to. If you want to get fit, come to me. Dude, the lighting here is beautiful. You guys both look so lovely.
So we're here. You're here to sell shit, we're here to live.
The mind gets really loud, like, I don't know, they exhale, it's like you're blowing out candles on your birthday through purse lips.
Good morning everybody, it is Saturday morning. Finished off last night with some beautiful pasta, which was good. Obviously spent a fair bit of time traveling yesterday, so didn't really get any type of preparation at all. But that's the life that we live, unfortunately, at the moment. We also have new prime train Sharon footies in red and in yellow, which are very exciting. Now, I got home really late last night from Sydney. Like, usually try to get to bed really early, but last night didn't get to bed until, yeah, probably like midnight. A bit of a sleep in. It's now about, what is it, 8 o'clock? On my way down, get a little bit of a swim in, get a coffee, decaf, and then off to the game. Nothing worse than swimming here in Melbourne. Probably my least favourite thing to do, which is exactly why I'm going to go do it. Doing hard things to start off the day is always the best way to start it. So let's get to work. Alright, that was pretty cold. I don't know why I live here in Melbourne. It is just freezing. It's actually a really nice morning. I shouldn't complain too much. It's actually really, really nice. Now I'm going to try something a bit different today. I'm going to have cereal. I haven't had cereal for, I reckon, 2 years. At least a year I haven't had cereal. So I'm going to go buy some cereal and have that for breakfast. Now cereal, I don't think is the greatest thing in the world. I prefer to have eggs and toast and real food, but I'm gonna try something a little bit different today, and I'm gonna have cereal for the first time ever before a game. Don't ask me why. Just, I don't have a lot of time. I've got a junior clinic that I got to get to, so I don't really have time to cook up. let's just get it in, get it done, do some stretches, and let's get off to the game. All right, into the local, no shoes. Right, I've seen this new one from Nestle, bit of mini churros, cinnamon toast crunch. Let's give it a go. Taste test. Let's do it. I haven't had cereal in legit, I reckon 2 years. Delicious. So we're on our way out to the game. Today we are playing for the Basin Football Club. Obviously went down to training on Thursday, great footy club, really excited to have a run around with them. We're playing against Scoresby, who haven't lost a game just yet. I think they played some lower ranked teams at the start of the year, and then they've played some highly ranked teams in the last 2 weeks and they've beaten both of them. So they'll definitely be favourites, but we'll have a red hot crack and try and have a bit of fun out there today. I think that we're 2-2 at the moment. So yeah, ticking along nicely, the boys, and everyone seems really keen for the weekend. So it should be a heap of fun. The Basin had Barry Hall play for them back in 2017, which they said was a huge success. I think they had 5,000 people down there, and then they had Dane Swan play for them 2 years ago as well. So they've done some, they've had some really good sort of players, and now they've got prime train. Talk about a decline in quality, Barry Hall to Dane Swan to prime. So yeah, we'll see how we go today. It should be a heap of fun, and really keen to just have a run around and hopefully walk away with the 4 points. Would be really nice. Also, like I said, I only really had time to have a bit of cereal for breakfast because I was in a bit of a rush to get down to this junior clinic. Cereal, it feels good in the moment when you eat it, and then like an hour later, because it spikes your insulin so much with the amount of sugar that you have, then like an hour or hour and a half later, you definitely feel a little bit tired. So I feel like tired now because of the food that I ate. It's crazy how much of a difference it can make, like the food that you eat. Nutrition is crazy. It's a dangerous cycle when you're not eating healthy. I need to be more organized, I think. With that sort of stuff, it's hard. Like I'm just flat stick at the moment with everything, and I want to sleep well, and I want to, yeah, anyway. I'm not here to complain. I need to be more organized with that so I can stay consistent with it.
Grime's gonna kick about 50 today, mate. Nah, he'll kick 4. He's gonna kick about 100 goals. Six goals. 6 goals. Yeah. 1,
2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another game day vlog. I'm your host, Tom Bolsh, and that's the worst kick I've ever done in my entire life. Like I said, it's the Basin versus Scoresby. Scoresby are unbeaten here in the NFNL, and the Basin are sitting at 2-2. So it's obviously coming in not quite as favourites for the Basin. Obviously the Basin are, I don't think I've seen many teams in red and green, but that's effectively how it looks. Scoresby going to the left of screen to start, and Nick Dacos lookalike goes inside 50 almost. Now the crowd was building here. It was fantastic atmosphere. The ground was, and the deck was fantastic. There's only, it's about 21 degrees. Scoresby go down their end and kick the first goal of the game. And I start at centre-half forward / kind of forward pocket, and kind of just trying to get myself into the game at the start. But Westy starts off the game with a bang goal for the Basin, and that puts us even at 6 apiece, 1 goal apiece. Like I said, I was kind of starting at almost like 15 metres out as that kind of like forward, centre forward, full forward sort of spot, and probably was meant to be like like one of the main targets, but in the first quarter, I don't really start off the way that I wanted to. The defenders were fantastic. They started off the game. I thought they played a fantastic game altogether. I get my hands on it a little bit early, but wasn't really finding much of the footy. I get a good one here, get through, and then I get caught on the ball. get a free kick. That is not a free kick. That's a soft free kick. I'm happy to get that on the way back. It got reversed, and then I went to go out wide, but eventually got a 25-metre penalty. I don't have 50-metre penalties because the grounds are very, very small. Westy with a nice little shake and bake around the Scoresby bloke there. Gets it inside 50. Thought I was in a really good position here to mark this, but was outmarked from a fabulous mark there. Smitty goes inside 50, doesn't quite hit the straps there going for goal. I think that Scoresby had really good skills early on, but unfortunately they did mess this one up in the D50, and we capitalise on a fantastic goal. Like I said, I wasn't really around the ball that much in the first quarter. I couldn't quite get into the right spots. I found it really, really difficult. This one bounced over 2 defenders' heads and went in, and you thought maybe it's going to be one of those days. I eventually ended up kind of a little bit more in the midfield at the end of the first quarter to try and get my hands on the footy. Bowie goes bang, Saundo goes bang and kicks a big goal here. Looks a bit like Bo McCreary actually down there, not going to lie. End up having a fair bit more time, a lot than I thought. It's really difficult going from game to game, league to league. Anyway, I get a chance here to get the ball, unfortunately miss the mark, and then down the other end they end up getting a goal, which I was very, very flat about. And I kind of started off the game, like I said, a little bit slowly, not really with my head in the game. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe it was my preparation, but I probably just wasn't in the greatest headspace of anything. I just wasn't fully ready to play footy, but I don't know if that was because of preparation or it was just, sometimes it just takes me a quarter to kind of get used to the speed, the quality, the people, learning people's names. And at the end of the first quarter, I kind of got a lot of stick from the people on the boundary, and was getting a lot of stick from other people around the ground, and that's kind of when I thought, all right, it's time to pull my socks up here and actually play some footy. And by the end of the first quarter, I started to get my hands on it a little bit more. And as you can see, this is the peanut gallery that were just giving me a lot of stick in that first quarter. I probably started the first quarter, I had 2 touches. So I just wasn't around the ball. But then I changed my mindset in the second quarter, and I was like, all right, if I'm going to, get around it here, I've got to have a bit more of a crack. So I ended up getting the first couple of kicks in the first, the first kind of few bounces in the second quarter, and decided that if I'm going to do something, Bowie McCreary goes bang and kicks another goal. Loves a snap from just about anywhere. But I started to get my hands on the footy a lot more since I went into the midfield. I realised for me that I could, I almost get shrugged here, that I could have a bit more of an impact and an effect on this game, and that was a really important change, I think, and that goes for anyone out there watching this or playing footy. Bolo goes bang and kicks a goal. The school teacher, absolute superstar, goes bang and kicks a goal. I think that is a really good thing for anyone, that it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing or where your headspace is. Sometimes you just need to switch, flip the switch, and things might start to change, and you can be a bit of a game changer, as Saundo was here. He's kicked 3 already, and he's all over the shop. So we do get a little bit, as you can see, a little bit of a run on here, and the score is 39-32, and we're actually sitting in a really good spot. We're moving the ball really well. The crowd, as you can see in the background, are super up and about. We get a lucky bounce here that goes through for a goal, and I'm getting stuck into the crowd there, the peanut gallery on that right of screen. And like I was saying, I was just starting to get my hands on the ball a lot more in the midfield. We started to, and I think that came from, 1, getting on the move, but 2, just pressure and tackle pressure, and just being happy about getting hit a few times as well. Sometimes it's, like I said, it's difficult jumping from team to team, club to club, and you don't quite know people's names and stuff, but that's why I do this. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and then in the second kind of quarter, I started to feel like I was getting into the game a little bit more. And like you see, with tackle pressure, that's how you get into it. Tackling, pressure, and going playing footy. It's just a horrible handball. It got me in a little bit of trouble. 46-32, as you can see on the scoreboard here. And we really are starting to, great grab by Smitty. And then Westy goes forward, gets a high tackle. That is too high on my boy's neck. What a collaboration. Westy times prime. Westy goes back and kicks a freaking snag. Bang, he likes that, and he gives it to the crowd. Come on! Look at the Basin. They get up and about. The Bear Cave is going crazy. And then my rest was to get a little bit of time at full forward, but the ball wasn't necessarily coming down too many times. Unfortunately, the school teacher, Bolo, gets caught holding the ball. And I was saying, just get it in, please, get it in deep, because if the faster that we can get it in, the more chance that we have of like one-on-ones, even one-on-ones. And unfortunately, we were just a little bit slow to kind of get it in, but there were a lot of opportunities that we had at the end of that first half. And then we get a really good lead here. We get a 4 or 5 goal lead. I'm sitting at full forward, really enjoying the crowd, giving it back and forth. But unfortunately, Scoresby just get a couple back here. They get one in the goal square to this bloke here who kicked 100 last year as well. And he goes bang, kicks a snag. And then they Scoresby just start to get a little bit of a run on here. Gets it again, this bloke. Starts to catch fire. Number 40 goes bang and kicks another snag. And he likes that one. He almost bowls over one of his bloody mates. The peanut gallery's starting to go crazy. The low socioeconomic. And I was saying, boys, slow down, calm down. And then this bloke Declan dives into me hand and somehow gets a free. You tell me how that's a free. I am baffled if that's a free, but I've done it plenty of times. Anyway, this ends up on baseline footy. Goes everywhere. Deck gives it to me, gives it to the crowd, all 6 of them, and the Scoresby boys get around me, and I'm just having a bit of a laugh. I'm having a bit of a smile. And they really got stuck into me here, actually, the Scoresby people. They did get very stuck into me. We go in at halftime, 58-50, and I am thinking here, Scoresby have kicked the last 3 or 4 of the game. They're starting to get a little bit of a run on, and that's not what we want. So back in the midfield in the third quarter, I could have gone a little bit faster here, and it was a little bit slow, a little bit of a flower bag kick, wasn't quite to advantage. We almost get it out the back, but wrong option. They go forward again. They love this number 40 down forward, and he loves a snag. He loves the arm up. Bit of Jonathan Brown action. He's doing a lap of honour, and he's kicked another snag. He's actually a good bloke. I quite enjoyed playing against him. Get a few opportunities here. I've called for a throw on this one. I thought it was going to be a high tackle, and I said, "What? How is that a free?" But that's okay. You can't always get the ball for every opportunity. We do get a few more inside 50. Saunders go bang and kicks another one. He loves that. He loves a snap from 20 metres out directly in front, but that's okay. If you kick it, I think he kicked 6 straight, to be honest. He was on fire. Get a little bit more of the ball kind of here. It's a little bit forwards and back. There probably wasn't enough from us. Probably wasn't enough, I think, structure around the ball, and that really started to improve as we went on throughout the game. Bang, snag. Oh yeah, we like that one. Absolutely, that puts us up by a couple of goals, and then things do start to kind of change. I get the footy here, try to go inside 50 to my boy Westy, wanted him to kick his 3rd or 4th, but unfortunately just travelled over his head. But I thought our tackle pressure was fantastic. Gibbo here gets a fantastic tackle. I look for a cheap handball, don't end up getting it. But I think that once our structure got a little bit better and we started to get more man-on-man around the ball, I clear the ball here, and unfortunately it goes to the opposition. It was the right option, but the wrong kick. And wrong execution. They go bang, kick a goal. So it's back to a couple of points, and this is about the time where you want to try and make a change on the game if you can. So I'm in the middle again, trying to get the ball moving forward as we all are. And this is a time where you really want to get on your bike and start moving a bit quicker. They get an opportunity here with a free kick, and number 40 again absolutely loves it. But I think he misses this one, which he doesn't miss too many. He's not happy with that one, and that was the one to put it back to a draw. But Doss goes forward, gives it out to Gibbo. Gibbo goes long. Who does he find? Guess who? The man of the moment. Saundo, but it's not the greatest of kick, and guess who's there waiting for a cheapie out the back? Prime Train. Says, hello, this is my moment, I'm going to kick a snag, I never miss these. I give it to the crowd, I trip over my own foot, and I injured my ankle again, but that's okay, because I was pretty happy with the snag. The boys got around me, which I was stoked with, and that's my first one in the Basin colours. As you can see here, I'm struggling a little bit with my running. Doss goes inside 50, and here's another one over the top, and I'm running forward here, and I'm getting tagged. I'm getting pulled on the jumper. Not acceptable. Go back, get a free kick. That's 2 in a row. Thank you very much. Let's go. give it back to the peanut gallery, a little bit of yes, come on, and that puts us a couple of goals up. The peanut gallery are going crazy at me. Look at them. Gee whiz. They are not happy with me. Something is going on, but I am. My head's in the game at this stage. I'm back. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I can change the game in some way, in a positive way for the Basin, the Bears, and start to get my hands on the ball a little bit. Unlucky not to be called a free kick here. I thought Doss was fantastic in the ruck, and that wraps it up at 3/4 time, and we're a few goals up here. And they say at 3/4 time, everybody else out. We're going to put Tom. We're going to put Prime down in the square, and I said, all right, thank you very much. So the kind of instruction was just to get it inside 50, and I get an opportunity early here, but just didn't end up getting my hands on it. Go for a tackle, and just missed my first opportunity. But second opportunity we get, the ball comes. I'm leading out, and I get a nice little break on my opponent. And I've been practicing my set shots before the game, so I was pretty happy with that. Goes bang, kicks a goal, and that puts us up by 20 points and starts to get us into a really good position. The crowd's loving it down here. I'm loving it. You can see I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And every time we're getting inside 50, gee whiz, that's almost a huge hanger out the back. How's this one? Could have been a handball over, potentially. And celebrate, but no goal. That could have been the cigar. We could have smoked that, put that in the pipe and said, hallelujah, that could be the game. As you can see, it's 91-66, but Scoresby is still in this game. Don't ever write them out, especially when this bloke is bagging them left, right, good night. Deck knew as soon as he kicked it that he was gone, bang for a goal, and he loves it. No one gets around him though, which is an interesting thing. It's always interesting when no one gets around you, but that's okay. Ball comes back to me in the middle, and I'm all over it this time. I'm feeling it. Get it into me, and I go long. I said, this is mine for the taking, but guess who? The Westicle. Straight over the top, takes maybe one of the greatest marks of the day. He's injured this ruckman. He goes back, kicks the goal. Westy's kicked his third for the day, and I tell you what, he's pretty happy about it. And I guess you can't hear it over the top of my voice, but the crowd starts chanting, Westy, Westy, Westy. This is not a free kick. Thank you very much to the umpire for not paying that. The ball starts to come out a little bit more, and I start to get my hands on it a little bit more. A few stats at the end. We're looking to get one more goal. Saundo out the back. High tackle, surely look after us. And maybe 50. Maybe 50. Give us something. And guess what he's going to do? Bo McCreary around the corner. He likes that one. Give it to us. That's number 6 for the day. Actually, number 5 for the day. He's pretty happy with that. I get around him. I'm pretty stoked with him as well. He's been all over it. And the Basin crowd is bumbling. I think they had 2,000 or 3,000 people down at the game, which felt like a finals atmosphere. It was honestly fantastic. Here he is, Saundo at the back. I'm sprinting to try and get my 4th for the day, but I say, nah, mate, you have it. That's number 6 for the big fella. When it's your day, it's your day. And I left it for him, and I said, mate, I didn't actually leave it for him. He wouldn't have given it to me anyway, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm revving up the crowd. I'm overall extremely happy. They get a late consolation, and it doesn't mean too much. At the end of the day, we go forward. The Rabbit, who does have an opportunity to kick the goal. But I'm majorly thankful to the Basin, majorly thankful, obviously, to Nicky Dacos and Scoresby as well. What a fantastic game. What a fantastic time. Up the Bears, baby. LFG.
So, huge thanks, Tom, for coming down, mate.
First half, I thought, alright, whatever. Second half, they're all over you, mate. You killed it. This bloke, I can't get words out.
He's on the BBs.
Oh, I don't drink. I'm all good. Thank you. Find somebody else.
I love you. That was terrible.
I didn't see the mark. I think he took it on me, actually, mark of the year, Westy. Because I didn't see it, can you talk me through it? There's one. There's one. We couldn't be happier. Thanks to everyone for coming out. You guys are all legends. And that's a wrap for another Game Day vlog. I'll see you guys next week in WA.